Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. We have lots to talk about today. It's another Monday, more vaccine news, and maybe another pop and drop. A little gap and crap maybe. So let's take a little bit. And of course, we've got to talk about our IDEX, Ideanomics, did some research over the weekend. We'll have a complete, full fundamental analysis video coming up shortly, but believe it or not, we did take that as the trade of the week for our options trade. So if you enjoy trading options and stocks, welcome to the channel. Stick around. We're going to talk about stocks, we're going to talk about news, and have some fun along the way. So first off, let's take a look a little bit at what we have going on in the overall market as we take a look at our S&P 500 chart here. If I can get it pulled up for you. And let's go ahead and go back to that one. All right, so here is our S&P chart. There was a significant short this morning. As you know, we have had these levels on the chart for a very long time. That little just under 359, the 358.75, the previous all-time high. Going back a little bit, we've got the bounce, and look, it seems to have paid off. The technical analysis of what was former support becoming new resistance. We had a hard time breaking it. Then we had the flush last week, came above it, played a little bit of peekaboo down. This morning's trade, which I did take a day trade on this, was right up at this all-time high. I didn't get the top. Did get a little bit right in here, got in and covered right in here. So didn't get all the move, got a lot of the move, was a great short. So we have, once again, let's get into a little bit of the news that happened today. First off, more vaccine news. Of course, you knew it was coming. So AstraZeneca releases its primary endpoint data showing that it once again is somewhere between 70 and 90% effective. So along the same lines of the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine. So that gets a big poop. A big poop? No, a big pop today as we get that news. And then we have more news come out today about Regeneron. Now remember, Regeneron has that cocktail which uses the antibodies from people who have had COVID. This is the injection that Donald Trump got, and then shortly after he had a fairly remarkable and fairly quick recovery, he came out and said, we have a cure. Not just a treatment, not just a vaccine, we have a cure. And there has been a lot of speculation on whether or not he was referring to this Regeneron cocktail. Now, there are some significant challenges with this cocktail, mainly in the time of that it takes to develop it, to make it. But they were granted emergency use authorization today to begin using that Regeneron cocktail. So we will see what kind of move we might have in the overall market. But one of the things that's interesting is that I think the market, it just feels to me that the market may be a little bit tired of this news. And by what I mean tired, I mean we're not getting the moves that we used to see when we get this data come out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the daily chart in the S&P 500 here. All kinds of things on the chart. This big candle right here was when we got that overnight on Monday, the first Pfizer news that they were 90%. And we gapped way up. What is that? 349 to 3. I mean, hundreds of points in the S&P and in the spiders. And that day just continued to completely crap out. And then we tried to work back up, and then we kind of got another crap out. And today we get this news, more positive vaccine news, and the market once again comes to this previous all-time high, and then very quickly, this intraday chart, that, my friends, right here, take a look at this intraday as we got almost to that previous all-time high. That is a flat-out rejection. And now we're moving lower. And so I'm starting to wonder if maybe perhaps the overall market is starting to get a little bit weary of this vaccine news, or at least it doesn't have the power that it used to. And it's starting to feel like people are using this as an opportunity to get out. an opportunity to take some profits. And so I even added a little bit more to my short position today in the overall market with some time and some duration, as well as that intraday trade. But this is the line in the sand, this 358.75, that previous all-time high in the spiders. As long as we stay below and we do not get hourly and daily closes above that, my overall opinion, my overall thesis is that we still have some downside in this market. And I don't get super excited on the short until we start closing once again below the low of this candle, which was the day that we had the Pfizer news, that Monday. And the low there was 354.06. So we're 20 handles above that. That's that previous breakout area. I've got it marked here on the chart in purple, watching it. You see, that's kind of been support. So we've got this classic battle right now between the bulls, between the bears, where they can't really get above that 358 number, can't really get below the 354. So that seems to be our trading range right now, and coming into this holiday weekend, that might be the range. But we have to talk about another stock today. So we have lots of things that we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about Fastly, we're going to talk about IDEX, Ideanomics, we're going to talk about Helion, Zoom, and of course Planeteer, PLTR. So we're going to take a look at all of those charts, but we're going to start the day today by looking at what is this week's trade. And if you're not aware, every single week, every single Monday, I do an options trade using a small account strategy. I'm Bill, and I trade stocks and options. And every Monday, I post a video showing a trade that I'm making using a maximum of $100. Let's get into this week's trade. And so here is a look at the chart of IDEX, which we talked a little bit on Friday. And look at the move today. This thing is up, 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 up and away. We are up 66% from Friday's close, and Friday's close was huge too. All of you Ideanomics individuals who were holding this stock way back at 80 cents, congratulations. You are winner, winner, winners. Great job, all of you holders from 80. Can't think, man, I wish I would have gotten in at 80, but of course I did not get in at 80 cents. But we did enter a trade today in Ideanomics, an option trade. That video is posted for all the Patreons because we do that live, but it will be on the channel shortly for free if you want to take a look as well, as we kind of had this intraday move a little bit today, and we were able to enter our trade right here, breaking below 235 in Ideanomics. So our trade is already doing very well, and we'll see how it pulls out. But on Friday, remember, I was wondering, what exactly does IDEX do, Ideanomics? And I should have known with the momentum that this stock has had, could it be anything else but a Chinese EV play, an electronic vehicle play? And of course, that's what it is. Now, there seems to be some significant confusion over what exactly this company does. But essentially, what they do is they resell vehicles to the commercial market. So essentially, they're a car broker, and they take a whole bunch of money and they buy a group buy of these cars. So, say a fleet needs to buy 600 electric vehicles. Ideanomics will go out and negotiate purchasing lots of these vehicles and then pass along that savings to the fleet. So they don't do anything in the retail market. And there are some questions about this company. And that's one of the topics maybe today, just an overall topic. Can you invest in a company if you have little to no faith in the company long term? And this may be one of those companies. I have my doubts about this company. There are some SEC investigations ongoing. All this will be in the full video, which I'm going to be uploading, as I have done a complete fundamental analysis of this company. But at the same time, from a trading perspective, I don't know if this stock can go anywhere but up, especially short term. And there are some reasons for that. There are options on this stock, which is going to just push this stock up, 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 up. As well as, is there a hotter sector right now than the Chinese electric vehicle play? Everybody's looking for the next hot thing. NIO going way, way, way up. Let's take a look at NIO. Look at the chart on NIO, man. Friends, it just keeps going up, up, up. Remember, we had the trade in NIO. We did very well in the trade in NIO. I am now out most of my position in NIO. But here we are. We're coming back up to this spike. This is bullish. Nothing but bullish. You can't short it. If you're on it, take some profits. Ride. That's all you can do. So let's take another look that we did have PLTR, Planeteer. Another high. Now, this is still a very significant position for me, and I could not be happier. I did take most of the position off here as we broke above the 17 on this breakout. I do have about half that position left, which at this point, I am just going to let this position ride because it does nothing but keep going up, up, up. So I do have a stop in my mind somewhere around 18. If we start closing below 18, depending on how it moves below there, I may look to enter back in and get some of my position back as it just continues to be bullish, bullish, bullish. PLTR, in my opinion, is a buy, buy, buy. I continue to hold a very large position. I did hedge a little bit against that position today by going out and selling. Look at this. I sold the $22 calls expiring Friday for 65 cents. So in the event that the stock goes up another 10%, I will have my shares called away. And if we don't, I will happily keep that 65 cents per share and continue to lower my basis as we just keep screaming higher, higher, and higher in PLTR. There is another stock that I want to look at, which is on my radar, which is starting to look a little bit interesting because, you know, it just got killed here, and that's Helion, HYLN. Let's zoom in a little bit on the daily chart. We had this significant move down, kind of started to form a bottom, and now we've got this consolidation period box thing that we kind of are breaking out of, kind of not. So I am starting to look at nibbling on a position. I don't know when this is one of those things where sometimes options are a better play, and sometimes I think stocks are going to be the much better play for you. And this is one of those situations where I am going to be nibbling at the stock itself. Slowly, slowly, slowly adding in here, little piece by piece by piece to see if this stock wants to go or not. My idea is as long as we're kind of above this 22 range, now that's $4 move. That's 20% move down potentially. And still could be in this chop zone, this consolidation zone. So you have to give this one a decent amount of room. I will be giving this one a decent amount of room just to see what happens and see what I want to do here. Let me pull up this other chart real quick. I lost my other thing. Sorry, just hold on one second here. Because I want to show this to you. Oh, we'll pull that back down. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I got everything messed up here. Sorry, my apologies. Live on YouTube. And I can't get the chart to pull it up. All right, so here we go. We're looking back at Helion. I still think that's the move, is trying to add a little bit. Now, there's another one that I'm interested in a position in, and that is Zoom. We talked about this one on Friday as well. And, you know, we kind of had this breakout and thought we're going to go completely up. And now it's acting like it wants to come back down into this consolidation zone, back into this box. Remember, I mentioned on Friday, Paul was bullish. He got bullish. I was on the other side and I was wrong as it was up, up, and away on Friday. It's given some of that back. And so here's the trade I'm watching. No position yet for me in Zoom. But as I'm watching this, we kind of came up towards this gap and came back towards it. If we start getting back, and now this is such a huge move to come back down into this consolidation box. But if we start coming down into this box and look like we're going to go the other way, that will be extremely bearish. And I'm starting to wonder, with all of this vaccine news coming out, with the reopening play, is the thesis, is the story on Zoom over? Long term. We can have these pops, of course, along the way. But as you look out long term, are they completely gone? And maybe I'm going to be watching this and just kind of seeing what happens as we come back in. Another stock that I want to watch. We talked about Planeteer, Helion, Fat. Let's look at Fastly. Remember, we entered this position on Friday as we started to get this bounce up. You'll see the line I put in there as I talked about on Friday on the live stream. Is that my idea of a mental stop was 80. As long as it stays above 80, I really want to own this stock, but I wanted to wait. And I kind of wanted to see what would happen. And so what we did is we went out and we sold the put. And that's what I was trying to pull up. So I'm trying to pull up the actual position here for us without getting into all the other positions. So I'm going to pull it up and we're going to see how that position is doing as I sold that put in PLTR. So here's the position. And you'll see it on here. We are down today's, well, we're about even on the sell of that put. Because we sold that put. We sold 5 of them. The $20 call, that's the $20 call on November 17th. That's in the wrong stock. Sorry. Let me pull up not PLTR, but Fastly. We sold the 86 put as it was way up here, right at the top. And this is one of the reasons that I love selling a put in order to establish a position, a long-term position in Fastly. So we sold that 86 put and we got a total credit of $335. So essentially we were making the promise to buy Fastly at 86 and we got paid $335. Now Fastly has since come down fairly significantly. In fact, it's $83 today. That is about our break even on this trade. So today we are up $65 on just selling that put for a total of being down 60. Now, if we would have just went out and bought 100 shares of Fastly when we were almost at $86, we would be down $300 today. Instead, we're down 60 and we still have the option come into the end of the week for this to be very profitable. And ideally, remember, we want to get this stock. So we would love for Fastly to end the week anywhere between $83 and $86. Anywhere in that range, we are going to do very well because we will get the stock and get to keep the premium on that put as well. Let's go back here and take a look at the overall market one more time. See what's moving. If anybody's got anything they want to look at before we come into the end of the day. Short holiday week this week. Let's look at the 5-minute. Starting to get this bounce off the intraday low, which ironically enough, that 355 is holding support. So it looks like with this spike at the beginning of the day, we had that mid-morning pivot. We have the run down. Then we have this bounce off previous support as well with a little bit of a taper. It looks like on both. There is a chance that the high and low for the day is in. If we start getting above today's open again, then there is a chance for a move back to the upside. If we somehow come back down and start breaking the lows of the day coming into the end of the day, it could be an epic flush. That potential is out there. So if you are bullish, keep an eye on that, because there's got to be some nervousness coming into this holiday week with light volume. As well as look at the gains that most people have had this week, this month, this year. Who wants to give it all back? There's got to be hedge funds and managers, money managers, that are taking money off the table as we head into this, and then starting the reposition to see what the new administration, if there is a new administration, that is starting to become a wild card, as there is doubt today whether Michigan and Pennsylvania will certify their election results or not. So stay tuned. All that risk doesn't really seem, in my opinion, that risk is not yet being priced in to this overall market. So my plan for the rest of the week is to watch this. I will start unwinding some of my positions as well. You know, I do have a decent little short on the market. Took some of the profit off today. Added a little bit with some more duration. But coming into the end of the week, Wednesday is usually historically fairly flat. Market is closed on Thursday. We do have a half-day session on Friday for those of you brave enough to play. No trading, of course, on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving Day for any of you who are still going out with family or staying home. That is pretty much all I have, all I'm seeing in the market. Watch for that complete video, which I'll be uploading shortly, which is the detailed fundamental analysis of IDEX, as well as an upload that was sent to all the Patreons of our trade that we entered into. And let's just take a look, just for fun, at how that trade is doing that we entered into today. Not bad, not bad. This is why you wait. And that video will show as we went out, we entered our limit order and we waited for the stock to hit our price. We got our price and it shot right off, so our numbers were good. We entered this trade with a cost to us with a maximum loss of $100. And here we are an hour later, we're up 35%. Now this stock is just going crazy, so we're not holding this one for 35%. This is a little bit outside of our core trading strategy with our weekly options trades, but we've had a great couple weeks. We're up some money, so this was our chance to take a flyer, and so far we are being rewarded. I do have stop orders entered, take profit orders. We have 5 contracts of this, so we can continue to move it along, which allows us to take it off in pieces, take profit as it goes up. All of those orders are out there and on the Patreon page for anyone who wants them, anyone who might be in a very similar trade. Now remember, on this channel, I will never tell you what to do with your money, but I will share with you what I'm doing, and you're welcome to follow along if you want. That's all I have for today on Monday. We'll see you again live tomorrow at 12:30. Till next time, everyone, we'll see ya.
Game over.